What's up, guys? I'm here with Savannah and Justice and David, and today we are going to be taking a little bit of a ghost hunt to see if we can find the ghost baby of Brice Hollow. Now, as long as you guys have been keeping up, you know of the legend that was going on there for, as long as I can tell, since my Gamma has been a young child. She had heard the legend while she was growing up that a woman had thrown her baby down the well, and that now you can hear the baby crying throughout the hollow, no matter where you are in it. And I believe she said the hollow is about 2 miles long. It's lengthy. And so we will be driving up Old 51, and from there we are going to turn onto Brice Hollow, and we'll make a couple interval stops. We'll get out of the car, we'll see if we can hear the baby, and we'll try to make contact in some way with it. And I guess we'll see if it's real or fake. Of course, me being who I am, it's real. It's not coyotes, it's real. So we'll see how it goes.
I will tell you stories of the horrible, the grisly, and the macabre. Stories that will make your bones shiver and your skin crawl. The story of the crying baby of Brice Hollow.
Hey guys, we made it to our first interval stop on Brice Hollow Road. So we're gonna take about 3 minutes and try to see if we can hear the crying baby anywhere. I'll have David set a timer on his phone, and we'll just see if there's any sounds. If we don't get anything, I'll try to have David to taunt it a little bit. Just something to try and encourage some sort of noise from the ghost. So we're gonna go ahead and start the 3 minutes. Now, I do want to give a bit of a warning depending on how the weather is, because I don't know if you can see the ice coming out of my breath as I speak, but at the next 2 and 3 and 4 intervals, we're gonna take a couple more minutes and try and listen, because that way we'll be closer to where the well is supposed to be. Now, I don't know the exact location at this moment. My Gamma and I are going to be taking a trip to try and get some pictures of it if it's still not active, but if it's still intact, and try and see if we can find it. David, start the 3 minutes.
What do you want me to do? Want me to just pull Shane Madej?
Go ahead.
Wah! Wah!
Maybe you should, a lot of people think that they're coyotes. Maybe you should try to oh!
No,
What do they yip?
That's a wolf.
They yip, they don't go oh! They yip.
Okay, hold on.
That was a bird.
That was a bug.
That was a nasty
You're
bird.
scaring the bugs off, David. That's where we're at right now. Maybe the bug is answering you. I don't
think
know.
it wants to come in.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get anything.
Not this far away.
No, the legend is that you can hear it up and down the hollow, but we are at the farthest end away from the well. So, well, or at least as far as my knowledge is of the area of where the well exactly is. So we are gonna end the 3 minutes a little early because it's probably 20 degrees right now up on the mountain, and we will get back to you guys at the second interval. So we decided to stay in the car for the second intervals because the more towards the middle of the hollow you get, the more suburban it kind of becomes.
Residential.
So yeah, more residential it becomes. So once we get more towards where the well is assumed to be, which is all the way at the other end, then hopefully we'll be able to get out and maybe even look around a bit. We were going to do an EVP kind of thing, but I think we're gonna wait to get a little further. It's 10 p.m. at night. I really don't want to get arrested for disturbing the peace. So David, if you will please, or Savannah, whichever wants to set we'll do a 4-minute timer this time and just sit and see if we can hear anything. I'm not gonna have David do any of the whatever he was doing last time, because I'm not trying to wake up anyone's dogs. I'm not trying to get bit by a German Shepherd today. So, is the timer ready? All right, let's do it. Ignore the music that plays when it goes off. real question is it the dogs or, because again, there are coyotes throughout the hollow.
Or
I have a friend who lives in the hollow, and she had said that the hollow is filled with coyotes and with deer, so we need to be aware of that. I definitely think it was coyotes, because no, if you like listen to it though, they didn't sound quite like they were barking, more like they were yipping, because yips are shorter.
Coyotes, yip. They go.
I know, and it sounded like that, but slightly deeper. They don't quite bark, so I'm wondering if it were some coyotes, maybe over there towards the ridge.
Probably. Let's carry on.
Let's give it a couple. How long is left? 2 minutes? Okay, we'll give it another minute.
We have made a wonderful discovery.
Stop, because if it were like a real life crying kid, it would have kept crying. And listen, the well is another all the way down. We're not even in the middle of the hollow yet.
Right.
I can enhance it. We're not even to the middle of the hollow yet. I'm just gonna go ahead and start the car. We're not even, put up your windows. Like, I don't know what that was. I want to be a part of that. But we're not even in the middle of the hollow. I mean, listen.
Lock the doors.
What? They've been locked. What? Listen. The realistic answer is what parent lets their child. I mean, it sounded like a young child, like a toddler, an infant. Why is my emergency
All right,
brake
well,
stuck?
let's keep going before we find out.
But listen, it sounded like a toddler or an infant. And who would allow, that's better, who would allow their child this late into the night? It is currently 10:13 p.m. Who would allow their child to come out into the hollow where, again, I didn't even predict that something like this would happen, where there's coyotes coming, where there are other, wild dogs possibly out. It's just, we're going to go further down the hollow. If we hear it again, I'm not ruling anything out. That's all I'm saying. Okay, stay tuned. So we are here, what is this, interval 3 now? We might have a few more stops because I'm not 100% sure of the length of the hollow. I only drove down it once during the day to try and at least get some kind of bearings of it. So we are now at the 3rd interval, and as you heard in the second one, there was a strange baby crying, toddler crying. There was a noise. And so we are now at the next one. Oh, that was someone drinking. I thought that was someone talking. It was Justice.
Sorry.
You're okay. You scared me though. I was like, this is it. So we are gonna give it another like 4 minutes or so. And just for Facebook's knowings, we don't have any weapons on us. That's not who we are. And so we are gonna go ahead and start the 4 minutes. Savannah, if you'll get your timer out, and we'll sit in silence here. I predict that we're probably about halfway down the hollow.
I keep getting shivers.
It's cold. It's 20 something degrees. It's not warm. So everyone ready?
Sure.
Yep.
Let's start.
This is my well now. It's mine.
Bro.
What are you gonna do about it? I'll throw my baby in there.
The baby has lost its well privileges, apparently.
This is my bridge now, good man.
I threw the baby down the well.
it's not even confirmed. No one is 100% sure.
They just looked down there and saw bones.
No, it was just like an old story. A lot of people here believe that it was, it's just actually coyotes that everyone's hearing, and that the legend was built around the yipping and the crying of the coyotes. But I mean, then because that legend itself is so prominent in multiple counties and multiple states, unfortunately there's always a story of like a drowned baby or a dead baby somewhere.
Same thing.
And you can hear it crying. Yes, same thing. Those legends are almost national all over the U.S.
Isn't that the story of La Llorona?
La Llorona is a very similar story, except she drowned her babies in a river, and you hear her crying rather than the babies. So, I think that we're gonna attempt to do an EVP session where you sit, you ask questions. A baby might not be able to communicate, but it channels radio frequencies, and if there is any kind of intelligent spirit or anything, it'll pick a word out of those radio frequencies and it will show it to us. So if it has multiple very intelligent words right after the other, the likelihood that its radio frequency is not quite there. So we'll stop this interval a bit premature and try to do that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start the EVP session. Try and see if we can catch any voices or any kind of spirit that wants to communicate. And we're not using like professional equipment because this was like a last moment thing. So we have this fun little app that a lot of people use, believe it or not, and we use it in our kind of spooky home. Our house is definitely haunted. A lot of family members have passed away in it. And there have often been, sorry, I'm choking a little bit. There have been multiple very intelligent responses to it. So we'll see how this goes.
Who are you? Is there anybody here with us? Do you know any of our names? Mine's David. Can you say it back to me?
Are we near the well?
If it says no, I'd be very upset. Is there anybody here with us? Yard. It said yard. It's not talking because your ringer's off, but...
That was my bad.
What yard? Is that where you are?
Pig.
Pig. There's a pig in the yard. Maybe there's a farm nearby. Do you live near the farm?
Cassandra.
Maybe the pig's name's Cassandra.
I doubt it, David.
Are we near the well? The well where the crying baby is heard? Tell us what road we're on. Where are we at? You were just talking to us. Where did you go?
Hey y'all. So we just made it to our fourth and final stop. Right in front of us is Williams Road, which we'll use to take back down and get back into Cumberland. So, I mean, the main thing we need to talk about is what we all heard in the second interval. We clearly heard a baby crying. It was not, we heard the dogs, the coyotes, whatever it was, and then we heard 3 distinct baby cries, baby sobs of some kind. Now, we all know what coyotes sound like. Maybe a whole pack of them could sound like a crying baby if they were very young, but you could hear coyotes throughout our entire drive in the distance. You could hear them go, yipping and doing their nonsense. You could hear it. It does not sound like a human child. And keep in mind, at that point, it was 10:13 at night. It's currently 10:50. Who would allow their small baby or their toddler out this late into the evening? And who would go out knowing that there's coyotes, knowing that there's predators out at this hour? Who would allow them to go out? And even then, we didn't hear a mother. We didn't hear like an older sibling. We didn't hear an actual human voice say anything to this baby of any kind of comfort, which is why it's a bit suspicious. You believe what you want to believe, but me personally, what do you guys think? How do you guys feel about it?
It's pretty sus.
Bum, 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 bum.
I know Justice was especially uncomfortable.
It said Mexican.
No, I'm talking about hearing the crying baby, not the EVP sessions will be included.
We had a pig in the yard named Cassandra.
Mm-hmm.
2 Mexican women, one named Jessica.
I don't know why. He
Not
said
Mexican, but
2
been to
it said
California.
women,
We've been to
and women is
California.
plural.
I know though, I love that. I'm gonna add in a clip where we're all like, because immediately we all looked at each other.
Because it was on my side.
It
and
was
my window
on
was
her side.
all the way down.
Her and Justice's. I saw Justice in the back, like, we all froze. We all went dead silent. And I'll tell you what, we have had to stop and record these multiple times because we can't stop laughing. We were silent. I cannot wait to share this with my friend that lives on Brice Hollow because she's, I don't want to say skeptical because I'm not 100% sure how she feels exactly about all of the, the ghoul world. And so I can't wait to show it to her and see what she has to say because she lives on that road. And, I get to go back into town. She's got to deal with it. But anyhow,
Throwing her under the bus.
stay tuned. I plan on posting the actual pictures of the well, or at least the area of where my Gamma remembers the well to have been said it's located. Hopefully there's still a structure there. If not, I'll just try to get like, whole area shots of the region and
should still be
see.
a hole where
I mean, unless it's extremely grown over or like blocked off or something.
well, then try not to fall into it then.
We're gonna be okay. I think we're hoping for the best. But stay tuned. I'll try to post pictures of that with Gamma whenever we get a chance to go out and see it. Thank you for staying put and watching. Comment anything that you think was a little suspicious, or if David and I missed anything in all of this. And especially tell me what you think about the crying baby noise, because that was unexpected. Have a great evening. Or morning, or whatever time of day it is for you, but it's 10:53 and I'm trying to go home. Deuces.
We have made a wonderful discovery.